All right, friends, welcome back to another episode here at Healing Together. My name is Adam. I go by Coach HardgainZ. I've been coaching bodybuilding and current and recovering drug addiction for over 27 years. And throughout those 27 years, I have endured a lot personally, as well as obviously worked with many different people that suffer from a host of every ailment out there. Now, one ailment that I have not discussed in great length or in great depth that I suffer with is a TBI. That's a traumatic brain injury. And I have not gone into it in great depth to this point for many reasons. One, because our channel here has become quite known for its K talk. Can't say it, right? That's why we have the Patreon page. And two, because we've become quite known for my spinal fusion experience. Also because of my 27 years of bodybuilding coaching and staying healthy and in shape after my spinal fusion has been quite a ride. Let's call it that, quite an experience. But another reason why I don't discuss my TBI too frequently is because although I've worked with many people with TBIs, it's very individual. Each person with a TBI has a very different experience. There are some similarities within traumatic brain injuries, but there are also many differences. Now, I took the impact of about 500 pounds of cold steel from the back end of a Mason body dump truck right here to the frontal lobe of my brain. It fractured hairline. I have a hairline fracture on my skull, and it bruised my brain. Fortunately for me, I bled outward, because had I bled inward, I would have died there. And after the impact, I did go unconscious for a certain amount of time. One of my workers came, ran behind the truck, picked me up, got me in another truck, and drove me to the hospital. I don't remember a lot of that process. I start getting my memory back is being at home and living in a dark room for a couple months with my eyes closed because the pain was so bad to even open my eyes. Everything had to be completely dark. And thank God for the joy and the laughter and the sounds of my children, because audibly I could still hear my children, even though it hurt so badly to open my eyes. And the headaches that are associated with TBIs are also very individual. Many describe them as a migraine times 100. And I can tell you, the headaches that I would get are very much like a migraine times 100. The headache would start right here at my point of impact and very quickly spread behind my eyes into my temples. My temples would swell up and start pulsing. And that's when you can see that I was having a flare-up or about to have a flare-up. But then that headache would wrap around the back of my head into my brain and down my neck. And it was so painful. And I say was because I have not had a headache to that extent in a few years. And my brain injury was about 8.5 years ago now, I think. I still cannot look at flashing lights. And just the other day, a few days ago, at my son's football game, one of the security trucks, as we were walking, drove right by me, right in front of us, around the corner, so I didn't see him coming, around the corner and right in front of us. And I turned, because I had my daughters with me, to stop them from crossing the street, and I looked right at the security truck and the flashing yellow lights. And immediately, I went into the headache phase. And I had to close my eyes immediately, and it hurt quite badly, quite quickly. And so the reason I'm talking about this and bringing it up is because I'd say within the last year, we've had about a half a dozen people come to the channel within the community and ask me to discuss what it's like living with a TBI. I've also worked with over a dozen people now over the years who suffer with TBIs. So I know there's a lot more people out there that want more information or just want to discuss what it's like living with a TBI. And When we talk about pain relief on this channel quite often, obviously we talk about K, because that is my chosen methodology for managing my pain in what I feel is the most natural way and the healthiest in my protocol. Taking all my supplements for my organs, my liver, my kidneys, keeping it flushed out, even though I'm consuming plant matter, making sure that I'm drinking a gallon of water a day, taking additional vitamins. And we'll get into all that in additional videos, but we kind of can't get into too much depth of even natural and homeopathic. I don't even know if I can say the word these days on YouTube. So if you want more detail about all of that, we will be going into great detail at our Patreon page. So again, friends, to support the channel, to support our efforts, as well as to keep this platform alive and to get the most information you possibly can, go to our Patreon page and sign up there. We've made it affordable for everyone. A membership starts at $1 a month. That's it. And you get access to our VIP community. Now, obviously, the higher the tier, the more you get to access, the more information you get. You get to attend our live streams. You get to attend live Q&As, and we'll link that down in the description. But living with a TBI and managing the pain that comes along with that is very different for many people. I've known people that manage their pain with ibuprofen and acetaminophen. That's a minor TBI. And I've known people that have to manage their pain with going to the ER and getting an injection of something much stronger. And for the first couple of years after my TBI, when I would have a flare-up, my only option was to go to the ER. I could not open my eyes. The pain was so bad, I had to have an injection of this. That's what they would give me. And then within 10 to 15 seconds, the pain would subside. That's how much it worked. I think one of the biggest reasons that my TBI is managed on a day-to-day basis nowadays, and I don't have so many flare-ups, is because I'm a regular K consumer. For my spinal fusion pain, I do get mild headaches when the sun is too bright, when I'm around loud noise. Also, again, at another one of my son's football games, the marching band, the trumpet and the flute, like those, there's certain pitches that I just cannot take. There are certain frequencies I cannot take. Again, it is different for each of us, but it's the same thing as it is for my spinal fusion. Kingdom K's Red Bali is my pain management. And it, thankfully, even after 11 plus years of consuming Red Bali and, on the regular, nearly daily, it still brings analgesic benefits. But it does not take much Red Bali for those who suffer with migraines. My mother suffers with migraines. She'll have a capsule of Red Bali with a cup of usually green or black tea, so a little caffeine. And that combination of caffeine and a little bit of Red Bali K helps subside her migraines. That works very well for her. And as many of you know, the sponsor of our K videos is kingdomk.com. So if you want to give it a try, go over there and at checkout, use discount code COACH. You'll get 30% off your initial order. After that, sign up for the mailing list. You'll get additional discount codes every month. But traumatic brain injuries, I think, from my perspective, are one of the most misunderstood ailments or injuries, as well as one of the ones that people have the least amount of compassion towards. I have worked with people, especially wounded vets, PTSD sufferers, who have very severe TBIs to the point where they can't leave the house. They can't take off their sunglasses. They can't look at a direct light. And so there's many different levels and extremes of living a life with a TBI. And so what I can do is ask all of you out there, or anybody seeing this video, if you know someone living with a TBI, please please do your best to just have sympathy. It's so hard to have empathy for anyone that suffers with something we can't understand. But do your best to have sympathy, especially when having a flare-up, because those flare-ups can be horrific. And the way that the pain radiates inside the brain from a traumatic brain injury is so unique and different than any other pain I've experienced. And again, I live with nerve pain throughout my entire body, my spinal fusion. I've had complete organ failure. I have permanent sciatic down both legs. I have nerve damage down my whole right side. I mean, my host of ailments goes on and on, but my traumatic brain injury is so unique in itself that the pains that are associated with it are unlike any other. I'm not trying to sell anyone anything. I want you to find what works best for you. But why would I not tell you works best for me? Why would I not tell you that? That doesn't mean I'm trying to sell it to you. I want you to have something that works. And if it works, try it and then report back here, hey, this is what works best. Because that's typically what everyone says. And I have utilized Red Bali with many of my TBI sufferers, PTSD sufferers, and it has done wonders for them. I'll also say that Kingdom K's blend Calm, a little bit of Calm and a little bit of Red Bali can do wonders for many of us. Can I say that? I don't know. Friends, again, that's why we had to have the Patreon page. I know we all value this community too much, but we really do need your support over at the Patreon page. So a link will be in the description. Get down there, sign up, and you'll have access to the most of everything we have to offer. My notebooks upon notebooks, I'm looking for my stack. It's in my filing cabinet. I put it away because I can actually clean my desk. My notebooks upon notebooks upon notebooks of client experiences, of clients that I have been working with that suffer from one thing or another, and we all suffer from something. So friends, thank you for all your support. And if you have a friend, family, or loved one who has a TBI, be loving to them. Because remember, TBIs also affect many other aspects of the brain, such as emotions, hormones, feelings. TBIs are not just limited to headaches. And that's kind of the takeaway I want you to have from this video. I have a client whose TBI is so bad that he can't even regulate his emotions. And he says he doesn't even feel happiness anymore. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine living your life and never being able to experience something, or your children, or anything that you feel joy and happiness? Like, feel for that person. Just do your best to love them. And that's the takeaway for today's video, friends. I want to thank you all for your support. We need it here. We need it over at Patreon. Get on X. We've got the X page, Twitter, whatever people call it nowadays. I don't know. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.